Have you ever felt torn between two voices? One calm and certain, the other anxious and loud. One whispering, "Go for it, this is right for you." And the other one saying, "What if you fail? What if you're wrong?" What if one of those voices was your intuition and the other was just fear disguised as protection? Your body always knows. Your intuition isn't random, it's your nervous system, your subconscious, and your spirit working together to guide you. Today, we're going to explore how to tell the difference between intuition and fear through both neuroscience and spirituality, of course, and how to rewire your system to trust that quiet truth within you. But before we get into this very important episode, I want to take this moment to thank each and every one of you who have taken the time to write a review of the podcast. This is the fastest way you are supporting my work. So if you have 2 minutes after you listen to this episode, I encourage you to go ahead and write a review. I will be very happy to see your review. Also, I want to remind you that I will be doing a live workshop on November 12th, and it will be called Step into Alignment, Release Blocks, and Reclaim Your Power. This is a free workshop, friend, and a great opportunity for you to work with me. Imagine what life will feel like if you could release all those old patterns and reclaim your energy back. And that's exactly what we are going to be doing in the workshop. Again, November 12th at noon. And I'm going to walk you through practical exercises and tools that have transformed my life and my client's life. And I want to do the same for you. So spots are limited. And if you feel called, I'm going to leave the link in the show notes for you so that you can sign up. Okay, now let's get started with the episode. If you're tired of feeling stuck, disconnected, or held back by old beliefs, and you're ready to start living in alignment with your deepest values, you're in the right place. Hi, I'm Michelle Marie, spiritual neurocoach, cancer survivor, and twin mompreneur. On Rewire to Align, I share the neuroscience and spiritual practices that help me transform my own life, guiding you to release limiting beliefs, rewire your mind, and step fully into your sovereignty. Are you ready to live in alignment with who you truly are? Let's rewire, align, and manifest. Welcome back to Rewire to Align. This is your sacred space where neuroscience meets spirituality and where we learn to live from our highest and authentic alignment. I'm Michelle Marie. I'm your favorite spiritual neurocoach and host. Before we dive into today's episode, let me ask you, have you been doing the shadow work from episode 46? If you have, today is going to help you bring that healing full circle, because once we start clearing what no longer serves us, our inner compass, our intuition becomes louder and more accurate. And if you have not done that, please, that's a beautiful flow that I share of shadow work in that episode is episode 46. Make sure to go back, make sure to listen. Fall season is the perfect season for this kind of inner work. It is the time to purge and prep for this new beautiful year that is coming and all the blessings that are going to come your way. But we have to create that space. So make sure that you go back and you listen and do that flow. It's going to be great. And before moving to the juicy stuff and the teachings and the practices in this episode, I wanted to share a story with you. When I was going through my cancer journey this past May, there were moments when logic just didn't make any sense. I had my doctor. I love you, Dr. Slomovitz. Thank you so much for saving my life. And I also had statistics on one side. I had him and the statistics. And then there was this quiet inner voice on the other side. And that voice was not loud. It wasn't certain. It was more like a whisper that said, "You have to trust, Michelle, in this step. Even if you cannot see what is going to happen, even if you cannot see the whole entire path, you have to trust." And looking back now, that whisper That intuitive pull guided me to decisions that shaped not just my healing journey, but who I became on the other side of this experience. And that's what I want to explore with you today, how to tell the difference between fear and that quiet, sacred knowing that's trying to lead you home. That knowing state that I have talked to you before in many of the episodes. So let's start with the science because I like to give you this lens always, always, always in each episode. Your intuition. Let's talk about your intuition. That's not a magical thing or a mystical glitch or something, oh my God, woo woo. It's how your brain and body predict the world. Every second, your brain is receiving millions of signals from your body. I mean, sensations, emotions, micro pattern. Imagine our five senses are constantly sending signals, right? Your nervous system is like an antenna. It scans for patterns you've seen before, even if your conscious mind has not caught on yet. And that gut feeling is real, my friend. And by the way, your gut has over 100 million neurons and is sometimes called your second brain, quote unquote. It communicates directly with your amygdala and prefrontal cortex, which by now I know that you know what these are, and they are the emotional and decision making centers of your brain. I know that you know this. So, when something feels off, if you feel off, or if you feel in alignment, that sensation is your body's way of saying, I've seen this before, and I know what's safe or right for us at this moment. Now, if you want to take it into the neuroscience perspective, intuition is your brain's way of predicting based on stored experiences. And from a spiritual perspective, intuition is how your soul speaks through your nervous system, how spirit whispers through your biology. And here's where alignment lives, is in between science and spirit. When you quiet your mind, you begin to notice that there is this subtle language, sensations, symbols, synchronicities. Take a moment right now and recall a specific situation or moment in your life that you felt all of this subtle language. Spirit guides, higher self, universe, whatever you want to call it. They communicate not through noise, but through resonance. And that's why intuition feels calm. It doesn't rush, it doesn't push. It feels so peaceful. And let me know when you recall this moment, if you felt peace, you probably did. But how about those times when you are in fear? How have you noticed how it shows up? I've noticed how it shows up because fear is super loud. It's like it's breathing down your neck, right? It's overanalyzing everything. Is it catastrophizes everything? Oh my God, this is gonna happen, and no, this is gonna happen, and then you go into this roller coaster, and it demands urgency. Fear lives in the amygdala, my friend, and if you remember, the amygdala is the brain's threat response system: fight or flight, fawn or freeze. And the only goal is to keep you safe, even if it means that it's going to keep you stuck. Because remember, and I think we talked about this on the last episode, the brain wants you to stay in the familiarity of the past because it feels safer than the uncertainty of change. And I'm going to repeat that because this is a golden nugget. And if you have a journal, make sure that you write it down. The brain wants to stay in the familiarity of the past because it feels safer than the uncertainty of change. However, we don't want to create our life from the limiting beliefs and all those layers of limitations that we have taken from society and from other people. We want to create from our authentic self and our authentic self-worth. So we need to work, right? If we want to live authentically and in alignment, we have to gently work with our nervous system, showing it that it's safe to change. And as we do this inner work, it becomes essential to learn the difference between fear and between intuition so we can make clearer, more aligned choices about our next steps. So, what is the simplest way to tell the difference between intuition and fear? Intuition feels grounded, expansive, calm, peaceful. And fear, I just told you, it feels constrictive, it feels chaotic, it feels like a roller coaster ride, really. And your job is not to silence fear, because at the end of the day, friend, fear is a messenger and it shows you where awareness, healing, or courage or things need to be work. And is needed before you move forward because it helps us to clear all of that. Your job is to notice fear, to honor fear, and to rewire your nervous system to safety so you can clearly hear the calm, guiding voice beneath it, which is what? Your intuition. Before moving forward, let me ask you this. Have you ever felt stuck? Like life isn't flowing the way you want it? If that's you, I'd love for you to join me in my free workshop on November 12th at noon. Step into alignment. And in just 1 hour, we're going to explore simple, powerful tools to release what's holding you back and create space for what truly lights you up. Grab your spot now and start imagining what's possible for you in this very moment. I'm going to leave the link in the show notes. And if you have a friend who's also a spiritual junkie, bring them along. Having an accountability buddy makes the experience even more transformative. Okay, friend, now let's continue with the last part of the episode. So we were talking that the simplest way to tell the difference between intuition and fear is that intuition feels grounded and expansive, and fear feels constrictive and chaotic. And this is where your shadow work supports your intuition. And this is why it's important that you go back to episode 46 and listen to that and do the flow of shadow work. Because when you've carried unprocessed emotions, old wounds, or self-doubt, those become noise in your inner channel, right? It's not allowing you to connect to your intuition. You have a lot of cobwebs, a lot of things in the middle. Your inner child, or that version of you who is hurt or is feeling shame, might say, "It's not safe to trust myself." Your ego protector might say, "We're going to get hurt again." The work is not to get rid of those voices. It's to meet them with compassion. And every time you do that and you work on those aspects, right? Healing your inner child and unblocking all those shadow aspects, what you're doing is that you're clearing static. You're clearing all those energetic. You're clearing your path. And then what's going to happen is that the voice of intuition that lives in your true self, it comes through cleaner, it comes through stronger and with certainty, and it allows you to make aligned decisions for your next course of action in whatever it is that you're working on: relationships, work, physical health, anything that you're working on. So what we're going to do now is that we're going to do a very short practice that is going to help you tune into that calm voice of truth. If you are driving, you can come back to this moment. I recommend that you listen, but do not do the practice, please. And if you're at home, find a calm and quiet space. If you're outside, outdoors, sit down in nature, wherever you are, just take a few moments, like 5 to 6 minutes, to do this with me. Okay, if you can, just close your eyes right now and place one hand over your heart and one hand over your belly. Take a deep breath in, hold for 2, and exhale slowly. Let your shoulders drop and feel the weight of your body grounding you. Now, think of something you've been uncertain about. Maybe it's a decision, an idea, a direction you need to take. And gently ask yourself, what does my intuition want me to know right now? Notice what happens in your body, not your thoughts. What happens in your body? Does it open? Does it relax? Does it tense or contract? Your body will tell you before your mind does. If it feels expansive, light, and calm, that's your intuition. If it feels tight, pressure, or panicked, that's fear. Now, whisper quietly to yourself, I am safe to listen. I am safe to trust my inner compass. Take one more breath. Slow breath in. Inhale alignment. And exhale fear. Again, inhale calm, clarity, and confidence. And exhale doubt, tension, and worry. As you breathe in, silently say to yourself, I am safe. I am supported. I am allowed to trust myself. And exhale. With each breath, you're telling your nervous system it's safe to change. And in that safety, your intuition can speak clearly, guiding you towards the choices that truly align with your highest self. Come back to center. How do you feel? This is a practice you can do every time that you need to connect to your intuition. Your intuition is your alignment system. It's the bridge between your nervous system and your soul. And when you slow down, friend, and when you listen and you follow that inner knowing, you begin to align with experiences, relationships, and opportunities that reflect that true vibration. Talk about manifesting and attracting the things that you truly want in your life, right? The more you trust your inner compass, the less you'll need to chase the signs because you become one. Remember, you don't want to chase, you want to attract. And I know that you have seen this quote and heard this quote on social media a lot because it's in vogue. Everybody is putting it out there. So remember to come back to this episode at the moment of the practice when you need that guidance, when you need to connect. You always have to work with your nervous system and ground it for safety. Let the nervous system know that it's okay to make that change. Friend, your practice this week, your homework this week, right? Your practice is simple. Every day, what you're going to do is you're going to pause for just 30 seconds and you're going to ask, what is my intuition whispering right now? And then act on one small thing it shows you, no matter how subtle. And if you are working right now on welcoming new abundance, a new job, a new relationship, whatever it is that you're welcoming in your life that is new to you, come back to this practice because you're going to be teaching your nervous system that it is safe, that it can trust you, and that the next step is aligned with you. Now, I'm going to ask you to share your insights with me because I want to know that everything that I teach in every episode and that you are integrating in your life is working. So let me know. Let me know how you're connecting with your intuition. And you can do that on my favorite hangout place, which is Instagram, and my handle, Michelle Mari Pacheco, and I hope that you're following me. And I love reading your stories because they remind us that we're all learning to trust that inner compass together. And we're all in this journey together. Beautiful soul, this is the end of the episode. If this resonated with you, don't forget to subscribe, hit like, and share your reflections below. And this is for my YouTube subscribers because I am on YouTube. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or any other listening platform, remember to share with your friends and family. This episode is the fastest and easiest way that you're going to support me. Well, leaving a review too, but you can do both. You can leave a review and share with your family and friends. And next week, we're going to be diving into another juicy topic because it's October and it's all about shadow work and letting go and all that good stuff. So make sure that your notifications are on. And last but not least, November 12th at noon, remember the Live Alignment Workshop. The link is on the show notes for you to join, so make sure to secure your space now. It is my wish that this episode serves and blesses you. Until next time, remember, your body knows, your intuition is safe to trust, and your alignment is always guiding you home. I'm sending you love. I hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I love creating it. If what you heard today resonated with you, the best way to support the show is by leaving a review on Apple Podcasts. Your feedback helps me continue creating content that empowers you and deepens your spiritual connection. Just scroll down to write a review and share your thoughts. And if you love what Rewire to Align is about, share it with your friends and family. I truly believe the world transforms when we come together to create positive change. I look forward to be with you again next week.